Being a small spot in a huge ocean, it's very attractive for seabirds. We estimate the population in the breeding season to be roughly 1 million breeding pairs. And then you can add the non-breeding part of the population, which gives roughly 1 million more birds. Now we are situated on the southern tip of Bjørnøya in a valley called Revdalen, which is the base for our field camp. My name is Halvard Strøm, and I've been working with seabirds in the Arctic for 35 years, mostly here in Svalbard, but also in the Russian Arctic. Bjørnøya is situated in the middle of the Barents Sea, midway between the mainland Norway and Spitsbergen. The breeding populations on Bjørnøya are huge. It's a global important breeding site for seabirds. The island is situated in the central part of the Barents Sea, where cold Arctic water meets warmer Atlantic water. This zone, called the polar front, is very productive. That's the reason why we have these huge seabird populations on the island. Seabirds are important to monitor because they are an important part of the marine ecosystem in the Arctic. They are important for the transport of nutrients from sea to land. They breed on land, but they find all their food at sea, and they bring nutrients back to the terrestrial system that geese, reindeer, waders, the polar fox are dependent on. So they are an important vector in the system. Secondly, they are culturally important. They are important for many small settlements around the coast, both as products that they produce, food, feathers and so on, but also in language and many other ways. Here on Bjørnøya, we have a seabird monitoring program that has been running for 40 years now. We are focusing on 8 key species. It's both the Mør species, the kittiwake, the fulmar, the northern gannet, the great skua and the little auk. We are looking into survival, production, phenology. We are looking into migration routes and wintering areas, and also ecotoxicology or contaminants. Right now we are a team of 4 working here in Revdalen, and we have a team in the northwest corner of the island working on great skuas.
My name is Elin Sjöholm. I'm from Sweden. I'm a marine biologist, and I've been working with seabirds for about 5 years now, and this is my second season here on Bjørnøya. What I enjoy with working with seabirds is that you get to come really close to these animals that you usually only see from afar. Most of their time they're out at the ocean, quite unreachable. But for this short period of time you really get to get close, see what they're doing and observe them. And we get to sort of unveil the mysteries of where they're actually going when they're not breeding by collecting data and monitoring their success.
Bjørnøya is unique due to the fact that it's a meeting place for Arctic species who have their southernmost breeding site here on Bjørnøya, and we have more southern species that have their northern limit here on the island. So you can say it's a meeting point between Arctic and more southern species. That's why it's also very interesting as a monitoring site, because here we expect that changes will come, as for instance climate change. We started off here in 1986, mainly doing counts, looking into population changes. In 2004, the National Seabird Monitoring Program in Norway expanded into something called CPOP. Then we also expanded the work here on Bjørnøya to more species and to look more into monitoring parameters that tells us something about why things are happening, and also to forecast what might happen in the future. I think all the work we are doing here on Bjørnøya is kind of feeding into the Arctic Council work. We report the population data to the Circumpolar Biodiversity Monitoring Program. We report into AMAP the work we do on contaminants. I think it's essential with circumpolar collaboration because we have shared populations, and many of the seabird species in the Arctic are circumpolar. They breed all around. It highlights problems that we don't see on a national level, but we see on the international level, and help countries to implement actions that probably would not happen if we didn't have the circumpolar collaboration. So to collaborate and get a better understanding what is the real situation for many of these species are very valuable. And again, to coordinate the work we do, to have standardized protocols, working together to get as good knowledge base as possible. I think that's a very important part of the circumpolar work. Today we will catch birds, and hopefully it will tell us where the bird has migrated and stayed during winter.